Friday, everyone. It's beautiful here. I'm in northern Colorado. We're seeing the sun. It was actually a little over 80 degrees yesterday. This is our time of year where we get what we call the bipolar weather. We could very easily get 6 inches to 8 inches of snow. The mountains could, much higher up, higher elevations could. All right, let's get moving along here, guys. So, hey, everybody, Jeff here. It's nice to see you all. We're at the top of the hour. And like I said, since you guys are here on time, I'm here on time. I'm ready to get started. So let's get things rolling. Are you guys ready to get started? All right, awesome. So let's jump right into it. As I had mentioned before, my name is Jeff Rubenstein. I want to welcome you guys to the webinar. We're going to be on here for about 90 minutes. And before this webinar ends, I'm going to show you the exact strategies and tools that you need to take your business from where it is right now to becoming an Icon agent. You guys good with that? Okay, cool. This is the stuff that Icon agents, myself included, have been using for years, even before becoming an Icon agent was a thing, which is great for those of us who have sold hundreds, if not thousands of homes in our real estate careers, but that doesn't do you guys any good, right? So we're going to share some of that stuff today. We're going to show you how to take these proven strategies and apply them to your own business, no matter where you're starting from. You know, whether you're a seasoned agent, you've been doing this a while, you're just starting out, I'm going to give you the tools and the insights that you're going to need to succeed in real estate, and especially in today's market. We all agree that we're in a little bit of a different market. For those of us who have been in the business, you know, more than 3 or 5 years, we've seen markets like this. But for those of you who haven't, you're seeing some things and experiencing some things that maybe you haven't before, right? Any of you guys experience that? Okay. So how many of you guys want to get the strategy and the tools that Icon agents are using? You guys good? All right, cool. So I'm going to take myself off camera here for a bit, and we're going to dig right into these slides here. Also, real quick, I got to give for you guys, for those who stick around till the end, I'm going to show you the exact blueprint, right? I'm going to show you the exact blueprint, start to finish, that all the agents across the company that are Icons are implementing. There's very commonality. You've probably heard that success leaves clues. Absolutely. Okay. You guys want that? You want that blueprint? All right, awesome. So if you stay to the end, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to walk you through each step of the way here. All right, so we're going to talk about how to go from selling a few homes a year, whether you've sold one, none, or a bunch, to becoming a top producing Icon agent without burning out, without going broke, without losing all your friends. And I say that from experience because I've experienced these. I haven't lost all my friends, but I know relationships that have been have come and gone as a result of just so focused on the business. And some of you probably have experienced that as well. So now I'm guessing for most of you, this is not your first webinar. It's not your first attempt at learning the models, the systems, the tools, all the stuff that goes into the things you need to do in order to become an Icon agent. Now, for some of you, it might be brand new, but for some of you, you've probably had some experience with some of the things that I just mentioned. So the first thing I want to mention as we roll into this, that if you failed before at building up your real estate business, you haven't been able to get it to the next level, or maybe you did and you've gone backwards again, you can become an Icon agent, okay? Don't feel bad. Every single agent out there, every Icon agent, every very successful real estate agent's not only failed, they've failed time after time after time and again. The difference is they haven't stopped and they've figured these things out along the way. But remember, success leaves clues, and you guys don't have to necessarily put yourself in a position where you have to fail. A lot of us have done the failure for you, so we're going to share that with you today. Don't kick yourself in the head. Don't start feeling bad for yourself. It's all part of the process. The fact that you're here right now means that you do truly want to get better, right? Do all of you really truly want to get better? Absolutely, right? And that you're going to keep doing what you need to do, and you're going to get what you need to get. Now, let's be honest. The real estate business is a lot more difficult than maybe we expected, right? Now, when we got our license, for those of you, again, who have been in the business less than 5 years, you're seeing a market that like that was better than most markets we've seen in history. So moving into the market we're seeing now is very challenging. For those of us who are more experienced, we've experienced these transitions. So you guys, bottom line here is that if you're struggling right now and you feel like you're failing, you're not alone. Okay. Failure is feedback. And when we can take that feedback and do something with it, that's what's going to keep us going. And that's when success starts to become right around the corner. All right. I know it's overwhelming. There's constantly changing landscape in our business with tools, technology, marketing strategies, all this stuff. And to know what's going to actually work for your business can be confusing. So having a clear understanding of your goals, if you're taking notes, write these down. Your goals, your target audience, which you're probably like, I don't know what that is. We'll get into that. And the strategies that have worked for successful agents in the past, you get a clear understanding of those and focus on the fundamentals of lead generation, branding, marketing, systems. You'll be able to cut through all the noise and build this solid foundation for long-term success. And that's what we're going to do today, you guys. I'm going to help you cut through all the noise, go through all the nonsense that's out there, all the distractions, and focus solely on the strategies that really matter. Now, I think I know something about you guys. You all have a dream to sell a lot of homes, to make more money, and to live a big life, whatever that means to you. Most of you probably want to spend more time with your family. Some of you may want to start a family. I know you want to have more freedom in your life because that's why a big reason of why you decided to get into real estate. I also know you want more money in your bank account. All right. Some of you want to travel. Some of you want to retire. Many of you are just sick and tired of being stuck where you're at. So I'm going to show you, and I want to make sure that we can make that happen. And that is my commitment to you, is to get you through this during this webinar. So my goal for this presentation is to help two types of agents. Kind of alluded to that a little bit so far. For those of you who are new or newer agents, you're going to get the basic framework for developing a foundational model in your business, and also learn how to build a tribe of people who want to work with you. Does that sound pretty cool? Stop all the chasing, but build a tribe of people who want to work with you. And for the more experienced agents, those who have had some success in selling houses and just can't seem to get over that hump, or maybe just need the skills, knowledge, framework, systems, and strategies to help make it to Icon. You guys are going to get the advanced framework that includes some higher level models, systems, and tools, which this would all be pretty cool, right? You guys could have all this. Yeah. You guys good with that? Right on. Okay. And then lastly, I'm going to grab a drink of water and then I'll get into lastly. My ultimate goal for today, the biggest goal of all of this, is by the end of this webinar, that you guys know exactly what you need to do. Not only what you need to do, but also how you need to do it. Because some of you may be doing the right things, but you may not be doing them the right way. Does that make sense? And in doing it the right way is what you're going to have to do in order to take it to the next level and become an Icon agent. You guys all good with that? All right, let's move on. Cool. All right. So in the next 45 minutes or so, I want to help you believe that this agent to Icon blueprint is your key to unlocking the door and truly cracking the code for selling more homes, making more money, and becoming an Icon agent. And I'm going to show you my proprietary frameworks that I've used for many, many years and will continually build and improve as the market's changed. And as I continue to work with more and more agents like you, more and more icons that I currently work with, and make it simple for you guys. I didn't say easy. I'm going to write this down. It's simple, not easy. And then write your name after it. It's simple, not easy, Jeff. Right? I want to help you achieve the similar results that these icons have in their business and in their lives. Your business fuels and funds, F-U-N-D-S, your life. It's kind of funny how it almost sounds like fun, right? Funds can provide the fun that you're looking for in your life. And this all should be fun. This should be really fun, right? All right. So just real quick, over the last 18 years, I've had the amazing opportunity to go from being a brand new agent with a big national franchise on my own, trying to figure out how I was going to sell homes. I wanted to become a top agent in my market, and I knew that I could. I'd become tops in other businesses that I had run and even in jobs that I had in the past. I wanted to have a traditional sales team, fully operational traditional sales team. Does anybody here want to build a team? Anybody looking to build a team, or maybe you have a team and you're looking to scale? What a great example to become an Icon agent. I've been able to build multiple real estate teams through my experience, not only locally in my market, but all over the country, and increase production levels for myself and many other agents. Sold over 800 homes myself. I've been part of thousands of transactions all across the nation with different teams and support and so forth. And what's crazy is that all of this was done with 3 simple and extremely effective strategies. We get so confused with all the stuff out there, as I mentioned before, that we try so many different things. There's really only 3 simple and extremely effective strategies. What's even better about this is that once these have been mastered and developed, which has really been over the past 8 years or so since I started teaching, consulting, and coaching real estate agents, is that I've been able to help these folks implement these 3 simple and effective strategies. And what's the best part of all of it? Been able to see hundreds of agents go from agent to icon. Hundreds of agents improve their skill set. Hundreds of agents get to where they want to get to in their businesses so they can do what they want in their life. But here's the thing, you guys, it wasn't always like that. It definitely wasn't always like that. In fact, in 2007, I was struggling big time. I'd had my license for about 3.5 years at that point, and I was feeling like maybe some of you are feeling right now. The market was shifting. For those of you who are in the business around 2007, you remember what that was like. For those of you who weren't, you felt it too, because this is when the economy crashed and the real estate market was really at the forefront of this, or shall we say the mortgage market, but we're not pointing fingers. I knew how to sell houses. Like, I had sold a few. I knew. I think by that time I had sold maybe 15, 20 houses. But I was trying to build a true real estate business, and that was hard. And here's the thing, I'll never forget, I received a phone call from my wife right around that time, middle of a busy work day, the economy's going down, and she calls me and says, "Hey, can you pick up Dylan," who my son, who's now 15, was like 2, and he was at daycare. And she was like, "Can you go pick him up? Something that came up at work, this, that, and the other thing." And I blew up on her. Now, at this point, we had been married for a few years, and she hung up on me. She had never hung up on me. And I remember very clearly, like, my heart just sunk. Like, what's happening in my relationship with my wife? And my head hit the desk. I started crying, and I said to myself, something's got to change. Something has to change. And I knew that in order to grow my business and at the same time maintain a marriage and a new family that I was starting, I was going to have to make some major changes in my business. I was working way too many hours. I was stressed out. My physical health, my mental health wasn't great because I was grinding. And yet I was still selling houses and not necessarily able to move into like icon status or be it. Now, this was before I joined EXP, but that type of production and being able to build a team, I was trying everything that I could. If there was a way to generate leads and get more clients, I was doing it. I was also spending just about every waking hour either working on my business or thinking about my business. Any of you guys feel like that? Where you're like, feel like I'm constantly consumed with real estate. Yeah, I get it. All I wanted to do was sell more homes, make more money, and get to the status of what an icon agent now at EXP would do. Right? But what I really wanted was to make more money to spend more time with my family and my 2-year-old son. What I really wanted was more flexibility and the opportunity to spend more time with my family and not be so financially tied up to the constant ups and downs with selling homes, both financially and mentally. I wanted to take some pressure off my wife, basically, I mean, she works her butt off. She's a nurse. She works her tail off to provide for our family of now 4. And she had expressed some interest to do what all of us have done, really transition from a full-time job to becoming an entrepreneur. And I wanted to give her that gift. I also wanted to give her the option to stay home if she wanted to. And at that point, conveniently, we had our second child like less than a year later. So like I said before, I was trying everything. I was doing open houses. I was cold calling. I was door knocking, and we were working internet leads, all the stuff that I had been taught to do. And yet I still felt like I was failing miserably. Now, I had a little bit of success in these areas. That's where these transactions were coming from, but nothing that was really sustainable, right? And ultimately, I was struggling to get to that next level. I was buying leads. I was draining my bank account. I mean, it was getting tight around the house. It was stressful. And I started asking myself, how am I going to pay the bills? Have any of you guys ever been in a stressful situation in your business? Like a big gap in between closings or like a lack of leads. And you're like, what are we going to do? I get it. It's not fun, you guys. And I've been there. So one morning I woke up and going through my standard morning routine that I continue to do to this day, obviously modified versions. I went on my back porch, let the sun shine on my face. I was drinking my coffee. I had this rush of energy. It was one of those mornings, great night's sleep, and I was feeling good. And I just felt this calling that I had to go on a like this mission to figure out what I needed to do to stop this downward slide. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it though. And then of course the doubt starts to creep in. You're like, well, maybe I should just suck it up, wait for the market to improve. What if I really go for it? I put everything into it and I don't succeed. I'll be a failure. What if I actually have to spend more time away from my family? Like, doesn't that go against what I'm trying to do? So this worst case scenario was looming over my head. And then later that day, I was talking with one of the top agents in our office. And I asked him, like, what are you doing to not only like have such a big business, but maintain a steady flow of leads? You're not in here that often. You got all these listings and buyers. Like, how do you keep doing this? And he looked at me. He's like, do you really want to know? And I was like, well, yeah, of course. He goes, okay, well, nobody really ever has come up to me and asked me that. Hint, hint, you guys, you have come to this because you want some help, right? So he said, tell you what, meet me here 6 a.m. tomorrow and I'll show you everything that I do. And I realized too, like I wasn't getting in the office at 6 a.m. I was rolling in like 9, 10 o'clock maybe. And I was like, cool, I'll meet him in at 6. That's why I wasn't seeing him. He was gone by the time I got there. And so I spent the first half of that next day locked in an office with him. And afterwards, it was like, aha after aha after aha. Now, some of the things he showed me were new, but some of them I already knew about and I was doing some of them. And this is what the big light bulb moment came on. I mentioned to you guys before. It wasn't what I was doing. It was how I was doing it. It wasn't what I was doing. It was how I was doing it. So you guys may well be doing the right things, but you may not be doing them the right way. And once this clicked, it was like game on. So I got so excited about discovering this framework for my business that I started implementing the stuff that I had learned like right away. Piece by piece, I was adding these most important parts of my business, and I was doing it the right way, not just to get a few deals, but I was doing it in a way to build a business, and the deals started to come into the framework here. I started to find out that the strategies that I employed work better for attracting. Some work better for attracting seller clients and others work better for attracting buyer clients. So you guys, if you have the same strategy, and I know they're two different types of clients, but if it's the same strategies and frameworks around these, that might be a clue that you might not be doing it. The how might not be right for you. So what I did was I started building out different frameworks for buyers and sellers, different frameworks for parts of my business. And within 12 weeks, I had built an entirely new business that had a solid foundation that I've built upon for the next 15 years. The foundation that I thought I was building before was shaky, it was bending, it was breaking, kept falling over. The cool thing is that right around this time, while I was working with a few buyers and sellers, at the same time, my pipeline of potential business started growing. and I had a steady flow of leads coming in. So I had leads, I had potential business, and I had actual business. Have you guys ever been there? Everything's clicking. You're like, this is amazing. I have some leads in my database. I have some people who are maybe 3 months out, 6 months out. I have a couple few listings on the market. I have a closing coming up. Life is good. And then the closing goes, and then maybe somebody doesn't list, and you're like stuck in this place. So over the next few years, my business exploded. I was closing between 50 and 75 transactions a year. I hired an assistant. I brought on a buyer's agent. I was starting to spend more time with my family. I was focusing on me more and taking care of myself. I was becoming a better agent, a better husband, a better father. Then in 2018, I joined EXP. And this is when the point in my career where being able to teach, consult, and coach real estate agents was at the forefront of what I wanted to do. I had built up the business. I was happy selling homes, but what was really giving me the ultimate passion was helping you guys. So I started implementing some of this stuff in an EXP University class called Productivity for Capping. Anybody attend that class? EXP, we just didn't do it anymore. This was when we had 8 hours of education, and now we have 80 a week. This was when we had 8. I taught this class for about 2.5 years to over 7,000 agents all over the country and the world for that matter. And not only was I able to implement these strategies on my own and then share them, I was able to help these other agents get into production quickly. And at that time, help them become cappers. What was happening is that these cappers were now also doubling down on the strategies to become icon agents. So I was like, we're onto something here. Remember, guys, success leaves clues. What was even cooler than all this is that I've been able to now focus my businesses entirely on coaching and teaching classes like this so that I can share everything that I've learned, help you guys, especially EXP agents like yourself, right? We're all in this together. And when the stock goes up, which by the way, if you guys are watching the stock today, it's been pretty cool the last few days. This is the stuff that gets me fired up. This is the stuff that gets me excited when it comes to real estate. You guys go out there and sell the homes. So I tell my team, I go, I don't want to do it anymore. You guys go do it. Now, if I have some good friends and family that want to sell homes, yeah, but I'm not chasing anymore. I figured out how I didn't need to do that anymore. And it's led me to my true passion, which is coaching. Look, my point here, guys, is if it can work for me, it can work for you too. And I know 100% that it will totally work for real estate agents like you that are doing this right now. I'm not sure what that is. Transformation, right? Transformation. That's what we're all looking to do. And a lot of times it takes a different approach. It takes a different strategy. And it takes a different, let's say, model systems and tools, or maybe a different approach on how we use them. Not what they are, but how we use them. So you guys have probably heard me use this term framework, tactics and strategies and all of these things. So you're probably wondering what this framework is that I'm talking about and how it works and what it does and all that stuff. You guys want to see it? I'm going to break this down for you. All right. So get something to take some notes with, because I'm going to walk you through this framework. And I built this specifically for EXP agents. And I call it Agent to Icon Intensive. It's intensive. So here's the thing. As I mentioned before, there are 3 very simple and effective strategies. Now, in order to understand and implement this framework I'm going to show you, you have to be aware of these 3 key strategies that every real estate agent needs to be using. They need to be focused on. They need to work towards mastery in order to build your business. Okay, so we're going to dive into these, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to start implementing and building your business to the icon status. This is what we're going to cover in the next 30 minutes, right? How to achieve real estate success with your Agent to Icon Intensive without sacrificing your work-life balance. Super important to maintain that work-life balance. Strategy number 2 is how to unlock your potential as an icon agent, and embrace a growth mindset. Sometimes we get stuck in a very transactional mindset as opposed to a growth and business building mindset. And then strategy number 3 we're going to go over is how to uncover industry secrets and reinvent your approach as an icon agent for success. Reinventing your approach is leaning towards how you're going to do things. And maybe the how that you have doesn't align with what you're doing. And ultimately, your big why, your purpose, your vision, your beliefs, and so forth. So strategy number one, how to achieve real estate success with Agent to Icon Intensive without sacrificing your work-life balance. This is a quote that I read a while back from Tony Robbins. I think it was in Ultimate Power. I don't remember the exact book. I probably should. I'm going to look this back up. If you want to achieve success, all you need to do is find a way to model those who have already succeeded. As I mentioned before, success leaves clues. What are those clues? What are those breadcrumbs? You see, the thing is, there are icon agents that have come before you that really have paved the way. Those are the ones who have taken the arrows in the back, and then the rest of the wave of people can come through. The problem is so many of us we see the arrows in the backs of those in front of us, and we tend to go the other way because it's scary, and we think, well, I don't want to get shot in the back. I don't know if you necessarily have to worry about that too much because, as I said before, those of us who have been there, we've already been shot on the back. And most likely we've gotten up and continued forward. So maybe not actually seeing us, or maybe we're just ghosts out there, right? All right. So when it comes to success in this first strategy, without sacrificing your work-life balance, one of the things that takes up the most amount of time and is the most important part of your business is lead generation. I don't want to assume that you already know this. Some of you are probably like, yeah, well, duh. I cannot impress upon you the absolute importance in having the right framework around your lead generation. This is the absolute number one important part of your business. Leads are the lifeblood in your business. No leads, no closings. No closings, no payday. It's pretty simple, guys. This is where we need to be spending the majority of our time when we're committed to going from agent to icon. Right? Real estate's a revolving door of clients. And as soon as you get one new one in the door, another one may be settling on their forever home. And in order to keep our businesses flowing, we have to have a constant flow of new leads coming in. And this is where a targeted lead generation strategy comes in. Most of us think we have one. We think we have a lead generation strategy, but we really don't. We do some lead generation, and we do some things here and there, and we've done some things that have generated some leads. But as far as a framework and a strategy that's built within a proven model for success, nah. Most of us don't have that. I didn't have that. I didn't even really know like something like that existed until I sat down with that top agent in that office that morning. I was like, man, I'm just thinking way too small. And there are several reasons why real estate lead generation is important. You guys see the basis and the foundational aspect of these things. So how do you put a lead generation strategy together that works for you? And are you putting one together? And we're going to go over that in just a minute and get you some specific on that. But like, why is it important? Besides obviously being able to create a business around it, building relationships, right? Proactively searching for new clients and new leads is a great way to build relationships. Not only that, but it allows you to grow your brand and to start building trust in your area, in your marketplace, with your team, whatever it might be. When I was running a very high producing team, we all sat in a 10 by 10, let's see, 2, 4, 6. Sometimes there were 6 of us in a 10 by 10 office with the door closed with windows that didn't open. Can you imagine six guys in an office banging the phones, just hammering the phones for 3 hours every morning from like 9 to 12, Monday through Friday. It was crazy because it was cold calling, it was circle prospecting, it was some things that I'm going to show you here in a bit. But what happened was not only were we building relationships with leads and potential clients, we were building the relationships with ourselves. We knew, and we were able to help each other in this mini call center that we had. And this team went on to do about 75, 85 transactions in the first full 12 months with like 3 agents on the team. It was pretty cool. The other reason, increasing profits. When you generate leads, it allows you to bring more awareness to your business, right? How much are you paying for these leads? Are you doing it organically? And once you have the leads, you can then showcase what you have to offer, your unique value proposition, in order to maintain, build the relationship, and ultimately, hopefully turn them into clients or sources of referrals for clients. Can you guys get a referral from an EXP agent in another state? Absolutely. Even from other countries, you can get referrals. And hopefully I get to see you guys at shareholders coming up. If not, that's okay. But if you see me and you're there, please come up and say hi. I'd love to meet you face to face. And then obviously, once you get clients, you can start earning more money. But you have to build those relationships first. Also, growing your business. Lead generation is the act of attracting more prospects to your company, to your brand. Now, when I say your company, I'm not saying EXP, even that's our company. You have your own brand. You have your own business. Okay. So generating leads allows you to grow your business, which ultimately is going to create a snowball effect through referrals, through word of mouth, and more brand awareness. Now, how do you do this? How do you do this at the highest level and be able to attract the right business, the people you want to do business with? Here's what most agents don't know. You have to determine who your ideal client is. Before I was building a business, my ideal client was anybody who could possibly qualify for a mortgage and buy or sell a home. It didn't matter what color, it didn't matter what shape, it didn't matter anything. Now, those things are still important. But my whole thing was, if you're alive and you have money and you need to buy a house, I'll work with you. And most agents skip this step in thinking that, well, my ideal client is, anybody. Now, I can tell you from experience that this is not the case whatsoever. All of us will most likely work with the majority of this people on this planet who are qualified, right? This isn't the same. So what you want to be doing is answering these questions. Take some notes on this. What are the top 2 questions that your ideal client is asking when it comes to real estate? What are the questions that they're asking? This is an exercise for you guys to do. You don't have to do it now, but I want you to write these questions down and really think about it. Because once I established who my ideal client was, I knew how to message correctly. And that doesn't mean necessarily like text message, but I knew how to write emails better. I knew how to do social media posts better. I knew how to attract the people who I wanted to work with, right? The second question is, what are the top 2 results, or what are the top 2 roadblocks that this person has when it comes to buying or selling a home? What are their roadblocks? And then what are the top 2 results that your ideal client is looking to achieve in real estate? Okay, top 2 questions. Now, here's the deal. If you can do 2, that's good. If you can do 5, it's very good. If you can do 10 or more, that's excellent. Because here's the thing. Most likely, the best answers to these questions are going to come out in like number 6, 7, or 8. Because I know you guys probably answered 2 of each of these quickly. Oh, that's easy, Jeff. Dig deeper, go 5, go 10. And this is going to come into play when we start talking about creating content to attract clients to you. Do you guys want to attract clients to you instead of chasing them? It doesn't mean that you're not going to have to, especially to potentially get to Icon. But once you get there and you've done it the right way, you don't have to do that anymore. How cool would that be? You don't have to chase anymore. So how do you decide what you're going to do for your lead generation? It's confusing. Like I mentioned before, there's a lot of stuff out there. Where do I start? Do I do this? Do I do that? This is where so many agents get tripped up. They don't have 2 to 3 sources of active lead generation strategies that they're solely focused on. And what I mean by active lead generation is when you are actively engaged in adding contacts to your database, actively engaged in building your email list. Here's a pro tip for you guys. Your job is to build an email list, period. You're like, well, what do you mean? If your focus is building an email list, you're constantly looking to add people into your database, add relationships, build relationships with people. Right? So whether you're a brand new realtor with a fresh license or a seasoned professional, one thing is absolutely for sure, you have to have a great real estate lead generation process that is part of your real estate marketing strategy. Your lead generation is part of your marketing strategy. Write that down. My lead generation is part of my marketing strategy. We all so often want to separate these two things, right? Well, I do my lead generation and then I'm going to do my marketing later. You're marketing while you're lead generating, people. Agents, awesome EXP agents. So with this list, what rings true to you? Where are you pulled to that you're like, I'm going to do that? Now, if you notice, there's stuff missing that you're probably doing to grow your business. I'm going to get into that in a minute. Where are you really focused on your lead generation? Like truly focused. I'm not saying you're 3 hours a day locked in a 10 by 10 with 5 other stinky guys, but like, where are you focused? Where are you dabbling? Where you're like, yeah, you know, I tried that a little bit. Yeah, I tried a couple FISBOs, didn't work. You know, I called a few, you know, I did a little bit of cold calling, didn't work. I don't like it. And then what are you avoiding? What on here are you like running away from? It's okay. Like you will not find me door knocking. I'm not going to get too far into the story, but I grew up outside the Washington, D.C. area. And I lived in Boston. I've lived in outside of LA and I've done some door knocking and I will not be doing door knocking ever again. So I run from that. That doesn't mean that if somebody's like, you need to door knock, then I'm like, oh gosh, no, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So looking at this, where do you want to concentrate? What 2 to 3 areas can you concentrate on? Hopefully you guys networking and referrals are 2. I would challenge you to go add 1 or 2 more, something very active. Okay, have 2 to 3 sources of lead generation and use your scheduled lead generation time. Hint, hint. Again, doesn't have to be 3 hours locked in a cubicle with 5 other stinky guys, to focus on those 2 to 3 areas and nothing else. Close the door to your office. Put a do not disturb sign on there. Turn your ringer off. Put it on do not disturb. Close your email. All that, and focus on adding people to your database, building relationships, and creating a big email list. And I'm going to show you what you can do for that. Now, on the passive lead generation side, this is where you guys are like, yeah, this is the stuff I'm talking about. It's all cool, you guys, but this is passive, right? After you've dialed in your ideal client, where you know who that is, and you've committed to your 2 to 3 lead generation sources, it's time to determine how your passive lead generation framework is going to be designed. I mean, it includes things like social media, which can be broken down into many, many categories. I'll give you guys where you should be on Facebook. LinkedIn if you're doing agent attraction, but that's like totally off the topic here. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and then you can pick your 4th, but Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, massive. Social media platforms, a lot out there. Blogging. Anybody blog? Anybody write content? Yep. You can do that as well. Video, huge. Massive, massive, massive. Once I adopted a video framework and strategy, there's nothing better when somebody clicks a link and wants to meet with you to buy or sell a home because they've seen a video of you. Okay, is this resonating? You guys getting this? Is this resonating with you? Ooh, ideal client. Who are you speaking to in your videos? Not everybody. If you're trying to appease everybody, you end up pleasing no one. Right? So basically, and then of course, paid ads, you can do paid advertisement on any of the social media platforms. You can put in the newspaper if you wanted, and then email. Email is probably the most underlooked, undervalued tool that we have. Think of any time you're generating leads. What do you guys do? You put them in a CRM or they automatically go into that, which is great. But what are you doing after? And if they're the right people, as far as the ideal client that you're looking to attract, your messaging will be right on target because you'll be able to connect with them in a much better way. So when you're thinking of passive lead generation, it's really content that's aimed at providing value to your ideal client. It also has to have a call to action. Click here, download this guide, get this report, read more, anything that allows you to get an email address. Okay, this is called a lead magnet. I'm going to get into this in a second about lead magnets. Now, you may be thinking, Jeff, what are these guides and reports that you're talking about? I'll get into some of the specifics about it in a little bit. What I've found in teaching these classes and coaching so many agents, that this is a major area where agents struggle, is creating content with the proper messaging for the proper audience and collecting email addresses and then following up appropriately. This is a long-term play. You know, I don't think any of you got into this saying to yourself, yeah, I'm going to do this for a year and then I'm going to do something else. My guess is every single one of us got into this because we wanted to create a business. We wanted to create a bigger life. We want to spend more time with our family. We don't want to have a cap on our income. I mean, my gosh, most of us came to EXP because of the additional opportunities to earn income and revenue. Right? All right, lead magnets. Just a minute ago, you probably heard me mention the word lead magnet. Let me just be clear on that. A lead magnet's a marketing tool or a resource, okay, that you're going to use to attract potential customers and entice them to provide their contact information, such as their email address. This is all in exchange for access to the resource. The buyer's guide, the seller's guide, all of these things that we've used in our businesses, or maybe some of us haven't, but I know have, for years. And when I learned with this top agent, it was like, you get Jeff, you guys are giving all your stuff away for free, which there is merit in that. But yet, in exchange for an email address is not too much. So the key to an effective lead magnet, just so you know, is offering something of value to your target audience that's relevant to their interests and needs. If it's not relevant to their interests and needs, they're not going to click it. And if you don't know who you're messaging to, you may be speaking a different language. And when you do all of this, when you complete this, you're going to establish credibility and trust with potential customers. And when you do that, you automatically increase the chances of them becoming clients down the line. And once you create the lead magnet, you can promote it, right? Through some of the channels like I showed you before. You can promote this content, these lead magnets, through any of these outlets as far as your passive lead generation. So it's passive, but it has an active component to it. An active component. I know you guys have seen it. Link in bio. Go here. And then you see there's something to click on. How do you think you guys got here today? I preach what I practice. I don't necessarily practice what I preach, because people can preach stuff all the time. But are you preaching what you practice? There it is right there. You guys have seen it firsthand. So keep that all in mind as you're thinking about lead magnets and how you're going to ultimately build that out. Now, what is this complete lead generation framework? Okay, let's tie this up as far as the lead generation, and we'll move on. Once you become clear about who your ideal client is, you focus on your active lead generation on 2 to 3 different sources, and you understand the basic framework around active and passive lead generation. You'll be able to create a plan for your content strategy and some automation. Once you do all this, you're going to be way ahead of your competition. Most agents are not doing this stuff, and they're wondering why this business is so hard. It's simple, not easy, you guys. It's simple, but we have to figure out what the simple parts are and then go to work on them. All right. This is what's going to help you get on your way to Icon. You're also going to save yourself a ton of time and stress trying to figure out what you're going to do next. All right, well, how am I going to find this next buyer or seller? You won't have to worry about that anymore. When it comes to building an Icon agent real estate business, you have to understand that it doesn't need to be something that's going to take more time. It doesn't have to be something that's going to interrupt your work-life balance. It can and it will if you allow it to, just by simply working harder and not smarter. So understanding and implementing this success plan is really about getting more done in the same amount of time, or even less time in some cases. More productivity. That's what we're looking for. More efficiency. So if you can focus on those 3 steps and commit to them daily, you're going to start to see a steady flow of leads. Not only that, but as well as an increase in conversion of these leads into clients. Now, I'm pretty sure that most, if not all of you, understand the importance of lead generation and lead follow-up. You guys all understand the importance of that? If you didn't, you probably do now, right? Like I said before, most agents don't have a plan based around a proven framework. And if you don't have a proven framework, then it's basically impossible to have the right strategies and tactics because they're not necessarily attached to your framework. So now you have this whole, we wonder why we ride this roller coaster in our businesses. So don't you guys want to attract people instead of chasing them, right? You guys getting this? This is how we turn it 180. But again, we're working with like a massive cruise ship and you can't just turn it on a dime. It takes a little bit to turn it, right? So take, for example, Cody Walker, Icon agent, started working with me around 2015. He was actually one of those other 5 stinky guys in that room that we were calling, both before we joined EXP in 2018. And what's cool with Cody is that, you know, he was brought up in a culture of heavy prospecting. He basically was raised in a call center. And once we started working together on a deeper level, we really established that he didn't know what else to do. And that's all he knew. He was able to almost build an Icon business, but grinding, and starting to feel the same things that I was feeling. Wasn't married at the time, is actually about to get married later this year. But 23, 24 years old, lots of time, you know, straight out of college, and was still struggling with his health, struggling with his emotions. And once he started adopting these strategies and figuring out his ideal client, he was like, oh my gosh, Jeff. And now he's attracting more business than what he knows to do with. And he's working with the clients that he wants to work with. Anybody ever here work with a client that you were like, can I fire you right now? We've been there. Or they just suck the life out of you. By the end of the transaction, you're like, that 10 grand was not worth it. Right? We've all been there. All right, let's move on to strategy number 2. How to unlock your potential as an Icon agent and embrace a growth mindset. All right, scripts and dialogues. Oh, don't run, don't leave. I know this just scared you guys, like scripts and dialogues. Knowing what to say, when to say it, and saying it enough times is the key when it comes to filling your pipeline with quality leads and converting them into clients. All of this becomes a lot easier when you know who you're talking to. That's why it's so important to get super clear with strategy number 1 and develop a specific course of action to lead generate it in a way that works for you. Remember, it might not be the what, it could be the how. You may be doing it in a way that somebody told you to do it, and you're like, that's not me. Scripts and dialogues are the same way. Ooh, that doesn't sound like me. I don't like that. Now, there's an art and science to scripts and dialogues, right? And I know some of you, when you saw that, you started to sweat or get these little weird feelings and, you know, this nervousness in our belly that's telling us, no, I don't want to do that. I get it. I understand the way you feel. I used to feel the same way. However, what I found was that when you finally accept the fact that you're going to have to lead generate and take it on with purpose and a full commitment, you'll actually start to enjoy it. It's like fake it till you make it kind of thing. It's like the reason you make it is because now you're not faking it anymore. It actually becomes what you want to do. Cody was a perfect example of that, right? He was able to step out of his shell. I know this sounds weird that you could actually start enjoying that, but it can happen. As I mentioned before, I was running this expansion team. We had about 8 to 10 agents at the time. We spent every morning in that stinky room, right? And here's the thing, if you didn't show up, you didn't get leads for the day. And then those would go to somebody else who showed up. It was kind of messy. It was messy at first, but before we got on the phones, we spent 30 minutes working on scripts and dialogues every single morning. 30 minutes, we all had a script partner. Once we all knew what we were saying in the ways that worked for us, we understood the art and science of the scripts, we all became way more confident. And then we took pride in picking up the phone and making those calls. We were like, bring it on. Tell me no. I don't care. I'm moving on to the next one. And I know no means just not right now, right? Objections. Those are another thing. How do we handle the objections? How do we handle the no? What do we do from there? How do we follow up? It's different for everyone. It's different for every phone call. You could be calling all FSBOs, but it's different for every person. That person on the other end may not connect with you, and you're probably going to get a lot more objections. What happens when a seller tells you no, they're not ready to sign the listing, or you've met with a buyer and they're not ready to sign the agreement, or you have an internet lead, that's says they want to meet with you, but then they keep saying no. Like, there's so many different objections that we can get. We need to know how to handle those. What about presentations? What are you saying on your presentations? Right? Do you have a pre-listing questionnaire? Are you doing your upfront work before you go on the appointment? Do you have a marketing brochure? Like, what's in your presentation? What are you showing them? Do you have the market data for that neighborhood, for that county, for your particular state? Have you put together a pricing index, or are you going in and you telling them what they should price their house at? Or are you doing it in such a way where they are able to actually self-discover what the price is that's going to cause their home to sell? That would be pretty cool, huh? I can help you with that. What about content? What are you saying in your content? Are you sending the same emails to your entire sphere? Or have you segmented them? Buyers, sellers, family, agents, local, out of state, all of these different things. So understand what you say, how you say it, and being able to say it effectively enough times is going to help you handle objections better. It's going to help you put all of your presentations together that are specifically geared towards you, your brand, your messaging, your tribe of people that are attracted to you. Being able to put that content, being able to put your words, whether it's written or oral, out to the world where people want to work with you. People want more from you. They want your buyer's guide. Guys, buying a home, it doesn't matter what state you're in, it's the same process. Sure, you may have different paperwork from state to state, maybe some addendums here and there. Like, I didn't know, like, California's got a termite addendum. Like, what? We don't even have termites here in Colorado. Too dry. They die out. But like, what's your messaging in that content there? Let's take Angela, for example. She's been one of my clients for some time, and we've worked together, and she's been in some of my classes. And her content is her content's changed because of her establishing who her ideal client is and having a growth mindset around building her real estate business instead of being transactional based. Okay. She's been able to think differently and gain some clarity around her business and what her ultimate goals are in building this business out. This is more than just our business, guys. This is to be able to fund our lives. That's a big deal. We've put a lot of trust in ourselves, haven't we? We've gone on a limb. Some of us have left corporate jobs I mean, I left a decent corporate job when I got into real estate almost 20 years ago. Don't regret it for a moment, but it's not the same as showing up for work and collecting a paycheck, right? All right, strategy number 3, and we're almost at the top of the hour here. As I'd mentioned, we're probably going to go about 90 minutes. So hang tight, I promise you, and I have a special gift for you. I got some stuff for you guys here at the end. So strategy number 3, how to uncover industry secrets. You're establishing some of those now, and reinvent your approach like Cody did. Reinvent your approach like Angela did, and reach the icon status. You guys good with that? You want to do that? I talked about this a little bit before. The first step in doing that is modeling. I'm not talking about clothes and runways and all that stuff. But what I am talking about is examining what others in your field are doing and seeing what works, and then doing the same thing. Remember, success leaves clues. I can't say that enough. And yet so many times we want to get so creative in our own approaches. Again, modeling is following more successful agents and what they've done, learning their behavior, looking at their strategies and examining those things, just really taking a closer look at all the methods and techniques that work for icon agents, and then adapting them to your own approach. Okay, this could be shadowing agents with clients. It could be shadowing agents with how they market properties. Those of you who are newer, maybe in the mentor program. I mean, how are they negotiating deals, managing their time, scheduling their day? When you understand all this stuff, you can see what works and what doesn't. And you may be like, wow, I'm doing a lot of stuff that doesn't work. It's actually not income producing behavior, income producing activities. Okay, so you can adopt all those marketing tactics, modifying your sales approach and so forth. So basically, it's a tool. Modeling is a tool that real estate agents can use to improve their performance and ultimately get greater success in your business. All right. We got to have these valuable insights and knowing what things we should be focused on to succeed in what's a very competitive world of real estate. One of the things you need to be looking at is tracking. I don't know where you're at in tracking your business, but most agents who I've worked with who are not icons are not necessarily tracking their business. They may be keeping track of things, but they're not necessarily tracking. Okay, so in real estate, tracking your numbers is referring to the measurement and analysis of various performance metrics, such as, number of leads generated, showing scheduled, offers received, contacts made, emails sent out, messages sent out, sales closed, all of that stuff. Collect and analyze the data, which is around the activities and outcomes. This way we can identify areas of improvement. Okay, so if we don't know where in our lead generation, for example, like what are the results that we're getting from making 20 contacts a day? Like, that's great, but how many are you adding to your database? And how many are you setting appointments or getting referrals with? And of the appointments, how many appointments are you actually going on, because some people cancel or don't show up, right? Anybody have somebody never show up for an appointment? It's kind of hard for a listing, but buyers, we'll meet at Starbucks, and then you never hear from them again. All right. So by monitoring all of this data and looking at the number of leads and conversion rates and all that, you're going to be able to know which avenues of your lead generation, which marketing channels and tactics are working most effectively for you. The second thing is this allows you to identify and address bottlenecks, maybe some inefficiencies in your lead generation or your sales process. Like, for example, you got a lot of showings on a listing, but you don't have any offers. That's going to tell you there's probably issues with the property, the price, or the way it shows. Which, by the way, you guys, there's only 3 reasons why a home does or does not sell in any market: price, condition, and the way that it shows. And as a little side note, if you can wrap that into your listing consultation, when a home is not selling, which you guys know in this market, homes aren't selling as fast, we're having price reductions, it's going to come down to one of those 3 things. And when you have a gorgeous home that shows well, maybe it's staged, It's super clean. It was pre-inspected. Guess what, guys? Shows well. It's in great condition. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, why do you think it's not selling then? Right. All right. And lastly, when it comes to your numbers and tracking, it's going to provide you with valuable data that will allow you to set some goals, help you track for future performance, and also be able to compare what you're doing now to what you were doing before and industry averages. So you know where you sit within the real estate market and amongst your peers. Got to be tracking your numbers, have to have tracking sheets and software and that stuff to optimize your performance. The top agent in that office showed me, like, he started pulling up stuff and I was like, yeah, I know what a spreadsheet is, but my gosh, like that. But what was even more important and what was cool, he's like, this is how I've been able to adjust and make changes in my business, because he started doubling down on what was working that was leading to closed sales and scrapping the rest because it didn't matter because he wasn't getting the results. We're like, oh yeah, I made 100 FSBO calls, and well, that's great, but over the course of the year, how many FSBOs did you close? None. Okay, maybe that might not be your wheelhouse. Step number 3. Here's the thing. If you don't take anything else away from this, I want you to take this. Your business will only grow to the level that you do. Okay. As a real estate agent, taking care of your mind, taking care of your body, taking care of your emotions is absolutely crucial to achieving success. This isn't any business, you guys. Your ability to handle stress and manage your time effectively, and also to maintain a positive outlook on all things, can have a significant impact on your overall productivity. Not only that, but with your client relationships and your overall satisfaction with your work. All right. There are a lot of reasons why you should be taking care of your mind, body, and your emotions. Reduce stress for one, right? Real estate's stressful, and you guys stressed. Like, dude, I get it. And it's demanding. So we have to have strategies in place to manage stress effectively. Regular exercise, healthy eating, adequate sleep. These are all things that can reduce the physical and emotional toll that stress can have on your well-being. I didn't get into this about me because it's ultimately not that important, but when it comes to this stuff, it is important. I'm also a health coach, and I do that on the side, and I do work with some athletes, some youth athletes. I myself, I played football in college. Health has always been a very, very important thing in my life. And when I was stressed out, when my wife hung up on me, which, by the way, she's never hung up on me again since then, and that was a long time. That was almost 16 years ago. This stuff makes a difference, you guys. I didn't feel good physically. If you're not feeling good physically, there's some stuff you can do. This will also help you boost productivity. Okay. You guys know that when you're feeling good, you work better. You can take some breaks throughout the day. There are ways to do this, practicing mindfulness, meditation, things like that. Also, taking care of yourself is going to improve your client relationships. You'll be able to deal with that grumpy seller a lot better, right? You'll have more energy to show more homes. And ultimately, you guys, you're gonna achieve greater success in your business and in your life if you take care of your mind, body, and emotions. You're just going to be more equipped to handle all the challenges in business and in life. And ultimately, it's going to lead to greater confidence, better decision-making, and just greater success all the way around. Okay. So just take that as part of being able to have a growth mindset, that you're really going to need to take care of yourself. And I can help you out with that stuff too, guys. All right. Real quick. Here's the thing, you guys. If my model and framework, the stuff that I've been using, the stuff that I've been teaching, and the stuff that I've worked with other agents going from agent to icon works for me, don't you think it would work for you too? Like, don't you think this stuff would work for you too? I love Cody and Angela. They're fantastic. And a lot of the other clients I've worked with, they're no different than you. And it's worked for them. So what I showed you is a step-by-step process that works. There's more to it. There's definitely more to it, but these foundational elements are where we have to be totally focused on. So let me ask you guys a question. How many of you kind of feel like this? I've seen a lot of you are taking notes, and you're doing a whole bunch of stuff and like, wow, this is, I'm starting to get this. We've been together for just over an hour. This has been awesome. We've gone over a lot of information in a very short amount of time. And I also know that I can talk fast when I get excited. And this stuff is exciting because I know for a fact that when you work towards mastering these real estate business building principles and you put them into action, it's almost impossible to not get the same results that other agents are getting. These icon agents, the results that you're looking to get, right? The only thing standing in the way of getting you to the next level, it's you. And when I took full responsibility for that, and I realized this all comes down to me, everything changed at that point. So I've had a lot of fun with you guys. I love this stuff. Like I said, we've gone over a lot of things, but it is really hard to cover everything that you really need to know. And more importantly, how to do it. We talked about the importance of knowing how to do it. You might not be doing it the right way. So I have a question for you. If we had a way to continue this conversation and go deeper on what you learned today, because like you said, we've been on here for a while, where I can actually show you how to do these things that I shared to help you sell more homes, bigger real estate business, and live a bigger, better, healthier, confident life. Would you guys be interested? Yeah? All right, cool. So what I want to do, because it looks like there's a handful of you who definitely want to learn more and start implementing some of these frameworks and strategies that basically icon agents are adopting. I put something special together for you, just you guys, just for EXP agents, because I truly want to see all of you live the life of your dreams and build an icon level business. You guys win. And when you win, I win. And when I win, we're all winning, right? So what I've put together for you who want to go deeper and really learn and implement this stuff is called the Agent to Icon Intensive Program. And I want to just ask your guys' permission. Are you okay if I share with you what's inside of the Agent to Icon Intensive? Sweet. Okay. So the Agent Intensive 8-week course is the culmination of my 2 decades of experience, not only with my own sales and marketing experience, but also with the agents that I've worked with, and especially the icon agents that I work with now. This course is specifically designed to provide you, EXP agents, with everything that you need to take full control of your business. Full control. Sell more homes, make more money, be able to spend more time with your family and friends and do the things that you want to do, right? Each week is a 60 to 90-minute class. Okay, we're going to cover the most essential strategies and tools for success in real estate. We've talked about lead generation. We're going to talk more about it. We're going to get into branding. We're going to get into marketing. We're going to get into systems. We're going to get into tracking tools. And the best part of all this, everything that I'm teaching you, you're going to get as well. And it's already done for you. And it's packaged up as a turnkey system. You don't have to spend countless hours recreating the wheel, researching, testing different strategies, building all this stuff out. I've already done the work for you. Instead, all you have to do is follow the step-by-step blueprint that I mentioned to you earlier. I'm going to show you this blueprint step by step during this course. Look, as an EXP agent, you're going to have exclusive access to this training. I'm not sharing it with anybody else. And I'm super excited to share it with you. So what's in this class? What is exactly going to include? Local market data. Now, you don't want my local market data, but we're going to go through local market data, how to get that data, what data is important, what stuff needs to be shared, not only with potential clients, but with your sphere of influence, with your database, with your email list. We're going to go through networking, what to do, what not to do, how often to do it, looking at all your numbers, marketing, which is very general, but very big at the same time. We'll break down social media, specific strategies, things to post, when to post, what to post, video. We're going to spend a good amount of time on video showing you this is not a full-on video course, but we're going to spend some time giving you the confidence, helping you establish your audience, and giving you some scripts and dialogues and some sample videos that you can put out. I also am going to bring in a special guest who has built a massive, massive video following of over 300 million views on his channels. We're going to talk about blogging. We're going to talk about email and automation, time blocking systems, your consultations, scripts, dialogues, handling objections, negotiations, mindset. I hit on that a little bit at the end. Goal setting, your health, which comes into mindset, and more. I want you all not only to become better agents, to become better people in the process. If you notice, most of the icon agents that you see out there, they have big lives. It's all about the people that they've been able to become in the process. Here's the thing, you guys, this is not all. I also have a few of the top icon agents in the company, like Elizabeth Riley, Renee Funk, Cheryl Hauk, who will all be joining us also to teach you guys to answer questions and be resources for you to be able to reach out to. So if you're interested in icon agent and luxury and all of these things that these top icon agents are doing, they're going to be there for you. I'm also going to give you buyer and seller consultations, start to finish. You get a new buyer, they're ready to meet with you. You schedule the appointment. You're going to have everything turnkey, step by step. These are all included. And this is a critical part of building a successful real estate business. If you notice, I call them consultations, not presentations. This is a mindset. If you go into a meeting as a presentation, you're going to be talking the whole time. A consultation is actually finding out what is important to the other person and developing your content, developing your presentation all around that. So this training program is going to give you this framework, and it's going to help you guide your clients through the real estate process from start to finish. The buyer consultation is going to include a buyer pre-listing questionnaire. This qualifies the appointment. This is something that will increase your conversion rates, and sometimes will allow you to say, this is not for me. This is not going to work, and let them go. Sounds weird, but hey, if it's not ideal, we move on. Your bio consultation package, which I just mentioned, which is a template. All you're going to be doing is filling in your information, and you're going to have an entire package. You're also going to get buyer checklists, what to do, when to do it, and so forth. And you're also going to get common objections, things that you're going to hear. We're going to practice scripts and dialogues and really understand what are buyers objecting to. It's all the same stuff, you guys. It doesn't matter if I'm in Colorado or you're in California. We're getting the same objections. The seller consultation, similar. Seller pre-listing questionnaire. This is huge. I've had seller pre-listing questionnaires in the past. The one that we've developed is the coolest thing because there's some questions in there that when you get off the phone, you already know you have the listing. They have already told you that they're going to list the property with you without actually saying, I'm going to list the property to you. We're also going to have seller checklists in there. You're going to get all the different checklists for pre-listing, for listing, for under contract, all of these things. Now, keep in mind, they're going to be a little different from state to state. But again, there are some things that we're all doing. We're all doing, and that's what you're going to get. And again, seller objections. Here's your best. I'm going to give you guys this. This is a freebie right here. Hey, Jeff, will you lower your commission? You guys ever get that? Oh, yeah. Are you willing to lower your commission? You ready? Make sure you guys are writing this down, because I don't want you to forget it. You ready? No. There's your script. I know some of you are like, yeah, whatever. Seriously, you guys. Jeff, are you willing to, Jeff, are you willing to, and they're always like hesitant. Are you willing to lower your commission? No. Do you have any other questions? Okay. Because here's the thing, you guys, they need to ask. They can't negotiate like we do. So we're going to also give you the Agent to Icon membership to the learning portal. All of the trainings are recorded. All of the assets will be housed there, checklists, PDFs, you name it, right? Packed with resources, video tutorials, interviews, podcasts, everything, all with icon agents, all designed to help you implement the strategies and techniques that we cover in the course. So whether you need a refresher on a specific topic or you want to dive deeper into a particular aspect of your business, the learning portal has everything that you need. And because it's open 24/7, you can access all of these resources whenever and wherever you need them. Okay, so you can fit it into your schedule whenever you need to. Best of all, I'm only offering a limited number of free memberships to this. So I'm putting it into this program for you guys. And if somebody else wants to get in there, they're going to have to pay more for it. So it's right there. All right. Let's see. Membership. What else you guys are going to get? I'll give you the Icon Scripts and Dialogues package. Okay. So the Icons Agent Scripts and Dialogues package is going to encompass everything that you need to have effective and accurate conversations with internet leads, sphere of influence, farming, creating content for your blogs and stuff. Everything you need to say, when you need to say it, and being able to say it to enough people. Scripts and Dialogues are the backbone of being a professional realtor. Knowing the right things to say. Part of understanding the right things to say is understanding what not to say. Okay. So you're going to get the buyer scripts, seller scripts, cold calling scripts, open house scripts, internet lead scripts, email scripts, handling objection scripts, social media, and video scripts. Lots in there. I'm also going to give you, we're going to have a weekly 60-minute mastermind session. This is where Elizabeth and Cheryl and Renee and other icons will be joining us over the 8 weeks. Each week there will be, this is in addition to the course. So you have a class every week. You also have a weekly mastermind session. We also have a private workplace group. Whoops, sorry. What else with the mastermind? We could go on forever on this stuff, you guys. Private workplace group. There's an agent icon group. You can join that now if you want. It's in the EXP workplace and you can just pop right in there. Here's the thing, guys. This is all of this stuff individually is worth about $3,000. Okay. So my question to you is if all of this stuff did was get you comfortable generating leads, just being able to generate leads, would it be worth it? Would it be worth it if it helped you turn these leads into clients and customers? Would it be worth it? Or to fill your real estate pipeline full of clients and basically have a waiting list for new ones where you're just bringing them in? Would it be worth it? Would it be worth it if all it did was give you the tools and resources that you need where you can start implementing right away? You have to ask yourself, is it worth it? What's this class worth to you? Like, what's one course like this worth that could potentially change your life? 1,000, 5,000 more? I mean, how much are you willing to pay to become an icon agent? It's either on the front end or the back end. So here's the thing with you guys. I had two choices in being able to offer this to you. The first was go super, super cheap, sell as many as possible, rake it in, but I wouldn't be able to, that wouldn't get me excited to really stack the value in there for you. That's not my goal here. The other option requires a little more investment, right? But in exchange, I would be able to devote more resources and guarantee your success. So here's the thing. There's no way that I was going to charge you guys that much. I'm not going to charge you $3,000. But if I did, I know it would totally be worth it. So I have a link on the screen, which it's live now. If you're ready to get started, you can't click it. I know it's blue. But I will put that link in the chat for you guys as well. Let me do that real quick. And I'm going to go over a few more things with you real fast. I should have had this copied and pasted, which I did, but we move some things around. There we go. Put the link there. If you are going to type it in on your own, make sure to put the S at the end of the HTTP, because otherwise, for whatever reason, it doesn't show up. So that is that there. Now, here's the real question, you guys. Is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to go check this out? You know, to go get started, which even if what we're going to do does half of what I've said, it's going to help you do on this training to get you to Icon Agent. It will pay for itself, right? As soon as you commit to it and you're ready to rock and roll, we're going to get started and you're going to be on your way to being able to do this. So that's the real question. Is it going to be worth it to you for $497? Less than $500. It's less than $62 a week. That's not even like a dinner out with a partner, a spouse, a friend. Definitely not with drinks, right? So again, you guys didn't really think I was going to charge you that much. I'm going to leave this up for the next, whoops, sorry. What just happened? You guys seen that big timer on there? I'm not even going to bother with that. Stick around for another 10 or 15 minutes to answer any questions. Before, though, I want to, if any of you are like, well, I don't have the $500, you can pay monthly with PayPal. So you could pay the $500 today. You'll be enrolled in the class. You'll be ready to get started. There's limited spots in this too, you guys. Once it's full, it's full. You can go to PayPal, and it's different potentially by country, and maybe it's not by state, but you can like do the $500, do it through PayPal, and then pay it over the course of 4 months for zero interest. So it's literally like $100 a month if you wanted to separate that. You guys, I know you're already spending way more than that on stuff that's not like maybe necessarily going to build your business, right? So here it is again right here. What you're going to get, you're going to get the Agent to Icon 8-week intensive course. That's once a week, live classes, 60 to 90 minutes, which are also recorded. You're also going to get the buyer and seller consultations, the actual consultations. So when you go to an appointment, you're going to have everything that you need to be able to convert that appointment into a listing, whether it be a buyer or a seller. You're also going to get the Agent to Icon portal membership lifetime. You'll be able to go in there. After the 8 weeks, you're not done. You get access to all the trainings. You can go back through all 8 weeks again if you want. I didn't forget I did that, but I'm like, dang. It's like you have a lifetime course for $500. Icon scripts and dialogues package. We're going to give you all the scripts that you're going to need. We'll be adding those to the library. If they're ones that you want and you don't have, we will get them and we will add them. We're also going to have a weekly 60-minute mastermind session to show up. We'll have top Icons agents on there. You guys will have the opportunity to ask questions and be involved live with folks. And then the private workplace group, which is a great place to share your wins, share your challenges, your failures. We're here to support one another, you guys. We're here to support one another. So I have a few questions. When does the class start? I'm going to leave that up to you guys. No, I'm just kidding. The class does start the Wednesday following shareholders. The Wednesday following shareholders. When is that? Anyways, we can, and if we need to move that around for the first 5 that register, we can make that happen. I can be pretty flexible with you guys. Okay. But just know right now, this class is scheduled to start the first Wednesday after shareholders. So that's like the 25th. I don't want to bounce around on screens because I have a feeling I'll mess something up here. Let's see. Whoops. What else? I have the order page up on the screen as well. That's what it looks like. It's very simple. All you have to do is fill in your contact information. The payment page is here. The buy button's there. Once we get that, I will be in touch with you personally to be able to get you started, get you enrolled, get you some materials, get you some stuff, especially here heading into the weekend. There's some things that we can do to get started. The workplace group is already rocking and rolling, ready to go. I will have for the first 5, actually for all of you guys, if you sign up today, I will start the masterminds next week as well. I will start the masterminds totally free. We're going to rock the house with this, you guys. I'm really, really excited because this is the first edition of what I'll call the 2.0. As I mentioned to you guys, I had done the productivity for capping for 2.5 years. And it's basically a lot of the same principles. However, we're going to go real deep. There's only so much I can do in an hour, like you guys found out from this webinar. And that class was only an hour. So this is version 2.0. This is the first round. You guys will be the inaugural I'm not even going to say it. First class. We're going first class, baby. There are people that I've hinted this with. Some of you, looks like you're here on the webinar, so thanks for being here. Others are not here. They won't even know about it. So you guys that are still here and spent almost 90 minutes with me, first of all, thank you. It means a lot to me that you would stick around for this long. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to earn income from this program. I believe in this program so deeply and passionately because I know this stuff changes lives. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to earn income from this. In other words, you go out and sell this, I'm going to pay you. And I'm going to pay you 30%. So for any of people that already left, they're not getting this offer. This is for you guys. 30%. So what's 30%? $150. You get a friend, another agent. Maybe you send some of the agents on your team through this course. You're going to get $150 per agent. So you get 3 agents to sign up. Your course is free. No, $50 difference. So, question, would this be beneficial for agents that are already on track to reach Icon this year? Absolutely. What if we got you there faster? What if we got you there more efficiently? Congratulations on being, Jesse, on being on track for Icon this year. It's only going to stack on top of what you're already doing. I guarantee you that you will learn new things, new strategies, new techniques. You may use the assets. Maybe you have all this stuff in place. I don't know. Maybe you have a pre-listing questionnaire. Maybe you have all of this stuff, which would be fantastic. If anything, this would give you a second look, maybe to enhance what you already have, make you even better. I didn't talk a ton on the health stuff, but there's really a spinoff of all of this too, you guys, which will come up in some of the masterminds and some of the other content that I'll be sharing with you guys, is really in mind, body, and soul, mind, body, and mind, mind, body, and emotions, and these things to be able to get to where you want to get to. It's unfortunate. I know a handful of Icon agents out there that are absolutely miserable. They make a ton of money and they're miserable. We can't have both of that, you guys. My goal is to have you not only reach Icon status, but to become the person that you want to become in that process. That's my ultimate goal. And I mentioned that at the beginning as well. I want you all to become better people. I want you to become better real estate agents. I want you to become better spouses, partners, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, nieces, just better people. Can you imagine what this world would be like with better people? And we all have a next level. We all have a better part of us that we simply need to tap into. And a lot of times we can't do it ourselves because we can't see what we can't see. And a lot of times that takes a coach to be able to do that. So this is a course. This is teaching, this is implementing, this is strategic. And yet at the same time, there's an overarching principle, becoming better, of coaching. You guys are getting some of that right now. This is what I love. This is what I pour into. I'm going to stick around for about another minute. I will keep this up here. Do we have any other questions? When can I expect to see results? Hey, that's entirely up to you. I can tell you that the agents that I've worked with that start getting things dialed in, they see a difference in 30 days. And you guys are going to get 8 weeks with me. They see a difference in 30 days. Does that mean all of a sudden you have half a dozen closings on the book? No, that's not realistic. Let's be realistic here. But have you established your ideal client? Have you started creating messaging around that? Have you put your buyer and seller packets together? Do you have a strategy for your, let's just say social media and marketing and branding? Do you have your logos done? Are they in sync? How do you have this? Do you know how to use all these tools? We're going to go through all that stuff. All right. So once again, you guys can get started for $497 today. I'm going to take this down here shortly, because it looks like some of you are signing up, which thank you. This is awesome. I can't wait to get this. See, like, this gets me psyched. Now that you guys are getting involved and you're making a commitment to yourself and your business and your family, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. So we're right at the bottom of the hour. Go ahead and either copy and paste that, or just go ahead and the link, go ahead and click it. It's in the chat. Write it down, whatever you need to do. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart being here. Taking time to commit to yourself, taking time to commit to your business and what it's going to do for you in moving it forward. And I would love the opportunity to spend 8 weeks with you in this agent intensive course to get you to Icon, to get you selling more properties, to help you make more money and live a bigger life. So thanks again for being here. I am going to go ahead and end the webinar for now. Make sure you have that link, click it. It's only going to take me a few minutes to go in and shut it down. And I want to make sure you guys can take advantage of it while it's still here. Again, if you're going to be at Shareholders in 2 weeks, please come up and say hello. I recognize some folks that were in there, and some of you I've never met, and I would really, really love to meet you guys. We'll enjoy the conference, and we'll see you guys later.